Morrowind, the game in which most GTA gamers who are 12 years old don't even know the name of. The RPG that was the grandfather of the amazing and successful Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind. Now, I'm not going to keep up this formality, but Morrowind was an amazing game and a great gaming experience, which is why I'm actually going to be telling you all why I think this. So to start off with, you come out on the boat and you are in this amazing, majestic land with water and people everywhere. Now, that is brilliant. You go down the dock and you customise your character, giving him a name back in the ship. And then you go and you are just free, after you've registered your character and all that, you are free to explore the world of Vardenfell, which is where Morrowind is set, the island that is part of Morrowind, and the host of many great adventures to come. Now, you will realise that there's this guy there and all that stuff, and then when you're out, you're exploring, you find a screaming book and other things. A screaming book is another YouTuber reference who I won't mention, because he's big and I won't care, but a screaming book, which turned out to be a guy falling from the sky. Other things, you do in fact find yourself intertwined with all of the different locations and adventures, quests, and so forth the moment you get out of the doors when you've registered your character, and it is just the best feeling ever in a game. That may be a little exaggeration, but it's a great feeling to finally get out into the world of Morrowind and explore the island of Vardenfell and just do all the missions that you can. The game doesn't do very much handholding, so you very much have to explore and find everything out for yourself. You do have a journal to keep yourself up to date, but you have to go from point A to B either by teleportation, which you have to pay for, or Silt Strider, which you also have to pay for, which takes you there quite quickly, or you can walk the massive world, which I would rather do, which doesn't take quite as much money, but it definitely takes the time. So, in the end of the day, you find yourself walking quite a lot, because money is quite scarce in the game. And you actually do find yourself walking back and forth over a lot of land for most of the time. And it is quite difficult when the game's combat system is very hard, as it's like hit, miss, 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 hit, miss, 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 hit, miss, 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 which is really annoying, especially when you're trying to hit something and it's taking down your health really quickly. You don't get a chance, and you only hit it every once now and then, but it's alright, and there are quite a few dangerous animals that will harm you the moment you leave Seydeneen, which is a starting town, and it's annoying, but it is the reality of the game. You wouldn't really be that strong, and these things are deadly. So I think that it does a good job with simulating the fact that even though you're at point blank, you might still miss because you're a pleb, or maybe because you missed. I don't know. But it is the kind of game where it just doesn't handhold very much, as it shouldn't. I mean, if you want a good game, then it doesn't handhold as much as you would like it to. I mean, it tells you that maybe gives you a little marker, but that just tells you to follow a marker like Skyrim. I mean, that's something I don't mind in Skyrim, the fact that you follow a marker, but I usually end up turning the HUD off when I play Skyrim because I can, and that helps me quite a lot because that is easy, and it's also not bad because you can just do that anytime, and I have no idea what I'm on about now. But it's not bad just to explore a little before you do the quest. So Morrowind does that. It makes you explore to find where you're actually meant to be going when you're doing the quest, which is really good. And I think more games should incorporate this kind of engine instead of having quest markers. It should just be plain and simple, no hand holding, do it all yourself. This is how it would be if it was real. You wouldn't have a HUD in which you can see your health, let alone where you can see where you're going and navigate. I mean, you could probably feel your health going down inside you, but you can't really feel much else. So I think it's a rather good simulator of a fantasy RPG. I mean, graphics aside, I know the graphics aren't up to scratch, but it's amazing for its time, and I still love the graphics of Morrowind. I mean, I think it kind of structures the game a lot, and I think that Skywind cannot incorporate that as much as it would like. However, I do think that If it was more graphical, it would be more of a simulation, as you'd feel more immersed. But I don't care about that, so I don't mind. It does simulate what it'd be like to be a nobody in this kind of land, and you kind of do feel like a nobody in these kind of lands. And I just saying, it's good. They really did a good job in kind of making Morrowind seem like this inhospitable place, which people seem to inhabit still, which is quite different, as most games like to handhold and make everything easy. Morrowind's quite difficult from the start, really. It's quite a difficult game. I mean, I don't play it that much, but I do love it when I play it. I loved it. I love it now. I am always watching live streams on the game. It's just brilliant, and I like to spend my time in the cities, actually. I don't know what it is about the cities, but I always end up spending my time there. Another thing that makes Morrowind so epic is the, like, mesmerising soundtrack, which just has you looking in the sky and drooling for about 3 hours, because that's about 48 minutes of song, but it does have you drooling, and it's really fun. Just really fun to listen to the soundtrack and explore a world in which mushrooms grow out the ground and are very big. Now, all the footage you see here is me playing about an hour of Morrowind, just chilling for an hour playing the game, and you know, I just decided to make this video because I wanted to tell you guys why I love Morrowind so much. And now I'm going to get onto it. The story is great on how you have to go save the world from somebody, something, everything. The land is diverse and interesting, and everything is different. The building structure is quite different as well. It feels like Tatooine from Star Wars almost sometimes. I mean, you go into like a place that's ash everywhere instead of sand. Yeah, I know, but some of the buildings are so taboo that they actually do feel like Tatooine buildings from Star Wars. And since I loved Star Wars as a kid and I love it now, it is another thing that it brings back. But I think somehow the buildings in this game, I'd rather be in this universe than Star Wars. Now that's something I'm not quite too sure about, but I'm just going to say it because lol, well funny. And I'm just going to say it, it's a great RPG franchise. I can't compare it to Star Wars, there's nothing like it. It's its own game, but it definitely has buildings that reminded me of Tatooine from Star Wars, just with a bit of spray tan. 50 Shades of Orange. Attacking things is fun in the game if you run in and attack them randomly. I find it funny how you get attacked if you miss, though, and the game, it makes you feel like a nobody at the start. That's the point, though. You're not meant to feel like this major hero, kick-ass, everything. You're meant to feel like a nobody, and I like that, because that way you're at least not, you know, being pricky about everything. If you just degraded at the start, you have to earn your respect in the land. Everything you do, all your skills, all of your power, unlike Skyrim, in this game, you feel like you've earned it all the way through. When you've got this massive, powerful, like, berserker or something, you feel like you've earned the right to be that strong, and you actually feel like you've earned what you have, and you feel like you've earned everything, and this guy's naked, so we're just going to leave him be. So, yeah, like I said, you just feel like you've earned everything, and that's good. When you feel like you've earned everything, then you feel like you're in the right. One thing that annoys me about the game is the cliff races, because they're just like, which is quite weird and quite annoying, because the cliff races are everywhere in this game, and they're quite easy to kill, so yeah. Now, to wrap this video up, I'm going to be talking about the world itself. Vardenfell is an amazing world. The buildings are very diverse and very interesting, especially the city of Vivec and the city of Balmora. Those two places have a very diverse infrastructure, but as far as in comparison to each other, and the real world, as the buildings do not even resemble anything in history that's from around my area. So I kind of, my area being the United Kingdom and probably like countries in Europe. So yeah, and Vivec is very similar, just that this doesn't resemble any form of infrastructure ever, and I love it because it just feels amazing. It resembles the pyramids very much so, but it isn't a pyramid, it's a canton, and you can tell the difference between that and a real life location. And it does definitely feel like somewhere you'd like to be, because it might be a bit grimy, it might be a bit, you know, rough in these areas, but the city itself is massive, and it's got these massive cantons, and inside those cantons are floors upon floors of housing and etc., in which everything is fun to explore, really. It's fun to explore. I don't know where I was going with that, but it's fun to explore. Like, other buildings, I believe there are shacks somewhere, and so forth, and so on, and henceforth, and hence Willy, and lick stuff. But really, it doesn't make it feel much believable, but that's the point. In an RPG, I don't want to believe it as a real place. I want to believe it as my fantasy escape from the crap that happens in real life. I want it to feel like my... I would love to be in this world, the Elder Scrolls universe, and live in Morrowind above all places, because it's different. That's the main reason, because it's different. I like it because it's different. I like the landscape because it's got giant mushrooms everywhere, and I definitely do love the fact that thought went into the designs of these buildings, unlike Skyrim, in which the buildings weren't very well thought through. In Oblivion, they were a bit dumbed down, but they were thought through to an extent. But in this game, you could see the architecture from the game developers. I have to hand it to them. It was amazing. I honestly think that the architecture in this game is way better than any other Elder Scrolls game. So anyway, guys, that pretty much wraps it up, and I have a minute left, but I'm going to talk to you about this stuff. So, if you have any memories that you'd like to share about Morrowind, Oblivion, or Skyrim, or any other game that you enjoyed and has left a mark in your heart, please comment it down below. And also, be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, all these things, it helps. Share this with your friends, tell your friends about this channel, which will be absolutely fudging amazing of you guys. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, the usual. Go subscribe to my second channel, there is a link down below in the description, as there always is. Follow me on Twitch, join my Google Plus group, join every other group, and yeah. Sorry, I burped then. That was disgusting, and very much out unorderly. The word of the day is cabbages for fish life. Thug life for the win. No. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See ya!